Alright, so we had a request to show how we break down and teach Uchi Mata. So we have a pretty interesting way of doing that now that lets you do a litmus test. So I want to show everybody that. So one of the biggest problems that we see with people doing Uchi Mata or any hip throw, stuff like that, is that they focus on the leg, attacking the leg, or a hip throw, they focus on the hips, and they forget a lot about their arms. So when we do our Uchi Mata practice, we start out, we have the person take a double lapel grip, really tighten the hands, but loosen the elbows. Now from here, I bring my hands inside, thumbs facing out, and I bring them up so my thumbs are facing my ear. And this is a drill to help create the frame. The frame is one of the most important parts of Uchi Mata. So I bring these here and out. This creates my frame just like the frame that I create when I do the throw. This allows people to not focus on attacking the leg and instead focusing on building and holding that frame. So what we want to see from people is we want to see them getting that off balance, pulling the person towards them so that the person's at an angle and not pulling themselves to them and building that big high frame. So if I do this correctly, I don't move, he comes to me. We'll even have people pick a line here, split the line kind of far apart, and make sure that Tori doesn't cross that line here. Okay? Once students have that in mind, building that frame and keeping that frame, then we start to incorporate the lower body. So with the lower body, we want to see people getting low, okay? And then springing up into this T position. Here. Okay? And the higher that they can do that while keeping their head and toes high, the more effective the throw is going to be because it lifts the person off the ground more so that they can't keep one foot on the ground to defend. So, again, we start here without our normal grips. We cross the box. We build that frame, and we want to keep this frame the whole time. Now, I want to make sure I have a little bend in my leg. This is what allows me to pull them to me instead of pulling myself to them. So if you watch, if I do this with a straight leg, we might meet 50-50. I have a bent leg. I can use that to pull against. Now from here, my back foot goes to the top of the triangle. If our feet make up a triangle here. And I'm going to continue trying to look right over their shoulder as long as possible here. Once I'm in this position, now I can turn and face the other direction and I can pendulum up. Okay? So, we'll have students practice this over and over again. Not thinking about the leg or anything. Just thinking about building that frame, getting low, and then penduluming up into that position. Then we do this thing called the litmus test. The litmus test allows us to correct any issues that we find in people's Uchi Matas by just seeing how they're able to do it with this same kind of procedure. So they bring their partner here, they go in for their throw. If the litmus test works correctly, he comes up. And ideally, we want to try to keep them on our hip. So I did that a little bit too fast. Okay? With Uchi Mata, it's a little difficult because we're kind of bringing ourselves here and we're brushing the inside of this leg. If we were to teach this doing like Ashiguruma, where our hip was further across, it's easier to hold our partner there. So, if we do the litmus test correctly, that's how it works out. If people do it incorrectly, what we'll see happen, you'll see this all the time people do normal Uchi Matas, is that, let's say I don't get enough off balance. And I come in, I slide up then. Okay, so if we see people doing that, then there's usually three reasons. One is that they didn't get enough off balance. The other reason might be that they get enough off balance and they keep the frame here, but then as they enter, they drop the frame. And the last reason, maybe they get enough off balance, they keep the frame, but they don't get low enough and spring. Okay? So once we have students do that and we watch them, we'll make micro adjustments and correct each one of those things. Then we'll have the opponent drop their weight to help them build the ability to maintain that frame while the person defends. So as I come in, I'm here, he's dropping his weight. And now I need to really work to maintain that frame. Okay? So we really like this because we stop people from focusing on the leg, so we don't get these situations where they just come in for the throw and just try to attack the leg with no off balance. And we also have a system for addressing all the major things that people do that result in bad Uchi Matas. So give it a shot. Hope it works for you guys.